Naomi reacts after Jey betrays Jimmy on Raw. Jey Uso just threw his twin brother Jimmy out of a battle royal, and Jimmy's wife Naomi is now publicly tweeting about cars and pushes, which in wrestling terms means someone's about to get run over or thrown off something tall. The Uso family drama just reached a new level of chaos on Raw, and Naomi's cryptic message is either a spoiler for what's coming next or the most ominous subtweet in WWE history. Welcome back to the Wrestling Hidden Insight, and today we're breaking down Jey's betrayal of Jimmy, what Naomi's tweet actually means, whether we're about to witness a full Jimmy Uso heel turn, and why this Bloodline family drama somehow keeps getting more complicated and more compelling with every single week. Let's start with what happened on Raw because the context makes Naomi's reaction so much more loaded. We had a battle royal to determine who would face CM Punk at Saturday night's main event for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins got injured and had to vacate the title, so WWE needed a new #1 contender fast. Raw's top stars all entered the battle royal. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso were both in the match, fighting alongside and occasionally against each other as the field narrowed down. And then came the moment that has everyone talking. Jimmy was in the corner fighting LA Knight, completely focused on eliminating Knight and securing his own path to victory. And Jey, his twin brother, the person he's been through everything with, the other half of one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, walked up behind Jimmy and eliminated him. Just threw him over the top rope while Jimmy wasn't paying attention. Jey went on to win the battle royal and earn the right to face CM Punk for the championship. But that victory is now completely overshadowed by what he did to get there. He betrayed his brother. He chose his own ambition over family. He did exactly what Jimmy has been warning him not to do for weeks. And the look on Jimmy's face after the elimination was devastating. This wasn't anger in the moment that would fade quickly. This was betrayal. This was hurt. This was Jimmy realizing that everything he feared about Jey's transformation under Roman's influence has come true. Jey has become the selfish, ruthless version of himself that puts winning above everything else, including his relationship with his twin. The show ended with Jey and CM Punk having a stare down while Jimmy stood on the outside looking furious and heartbroken. That image alone tells you everything you need to know about where this story is heading. Now let's talk about Naomi's tweet because it's brief but it says so much. She wrote, "Big Jim, all it takes is one car, one push, #WWE Raw." On the surface, that seems like a random collection of words. But in wrestling context, it's loaded with meaning. One car, one push. That's a reference to causing violence with a vehicle or literally pushing someone off something high. That's Naomi, Jimmy's real-life wife, publicly suggesting that Jimmy should retaliate against Jey in a major way. She's not saying Jimmy should challenge Jey to a match and settle it honorably in the ring. She's saying Jimmy should run Jey over with a car or push him off a parking garage or do something extreme and violent that reflects the level of betrayal Jey just committed. The fact that Naomi is weighing in at all is significant. She's not just a fan watching from home. She's Jimmy's wife. She's invested in his career and his emotional well-being. And she's publicly telling the world that what Jey did warrants serious revenge. That's adding fuel to a fire that's already burning hot. It's also WWE-style foreshadowing. When a wrestler's real-life spouse starts tweeting cryptic messages about violence, it usually means creative is building towards something big. Naomi might be hinting at a storyline development that's coming soon, possibly even involving her directly. Over the past few weeks, WWE has been teasing a Jimmy Uso heel turn. Roman Reigns has been mentoring Jey and turning him into a more aggressive, more selfish version of himself. Jimmy has been watching this transformation with increasing alarm, warning Jey that he's going down a dark path. The tension between the brothers has been building slowly but steadily. And now Jey eliminating Jimmy from the Battle Royal might be the catalyst that finally pushes Jimmy over the edge. Because if your own twin brother, the person you've been attached to since birth, is willing to betray you for a championship opportunity, what do you have left to lose by embracing your darker instincts? The question is what form Jimmy's heel turn takes. Does he cost Jey his match against CM Punk at Saturday night's main event, preventing Jey from becoming World Heavyweight Champion out of spite? That would be poetic revenge. Jey cost Jimmy his championship opportunity, so Jimmy returns the favor. Does Jimmy attack Jey after the match regardless of the outcome, just to send a message that betrayal has consequences? Does Jimmy align himself with someone unexpected, maybe even CM Punk, to form a new alliance against Jey? Or does Jimmy go full solo villain, rejecting both Jey and the Bloodline entirely and carving his own path built on rage and resentment? There's also the possibility that if Jey wins the World Heavyweight Championship, Jimmy becomes his first challenger. Brother versus brother for the top title on Raw. That's a money feud. That's the kind of personal, emotionally charged rivalry that writes itself. You could build that feud for months, let the animosity grow, let both men cut promos about how they know each other better than anyone else, how they know each other's weaknesses, how family bonds have been shattered beyond repair. And the match itself would be incredible because the Usos are two of the best tag team wrestlers in the world, which means they're also phenomenal singles competitors who understand ring psychology at an elite level. The Bloodline storyline has been WWE's backbone for years now, and somehow it keeps finding new ways to evolve and stay fresh. We've had Roman as the tyrannical tribal chief. We've had Sami Zayn as the honorary Yush trying to gain acceptance. We've had Jey breaking free and becoming his own man. We've had Solo Sikoa forming a new version of the Bloodline. And now we're getting Jey versus Jimmy, twins at war, with Roman's influence being the poison that infected their relationship. It's Shakespearean. It's generational trauma playing out in a wrestling ring. And it's exactly the kind of long-term storytelling that makes WWE compelling when they commit to it. Naomi's involvement, even if it's just through social media right now, adds another dimension. She's a talented wrestler in her own right. She's been on SmackDown, but there's nothing stopping WWE from having her show up on Raw to confront Jey or support Jimmy. Imagine Naomi getting physically involved, maybe costing Jey a match or attacking him after he does something particularly heinous to Jimmy. That would blur the lines between Raw and SmackDown, create crossover appeal, and give Naomi meaningful screen time in a high-profile storyline. WWE has been better recently about using their roster across brands when it makes storyline sense, so don't rule it out.